And I'm showcasing something, so okay, I'll just start with the case we're trying to solve, which is a 4-cycle in corners. Here, 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 here. And the idea here is, instead of doing this, like let's say that COM, and that transitions off fully into this, instead of doing that, okay, like even parity shifting isn't the greatest, since you're left with this COM. Instead of using one of the COMs available to us, here to here, then like here to here, maybe there's something good if you float, but that's too hard. Instead of choosing one of those, you choose one of the better COMs, like here to here, which gives us an LTCT, or here to here, which gives us a t2c. And yeah, the concept here is fairly simple, so I'm just going to talk about how to recognize these. I'll start with LTCT since I think it's more difficult. So for LTCT, there are two ways to recognize it. So first off is just like by the twist direction of this one. So I guess just from experience, or maybe it's like ZBA wall recognition stuff, I know that if my last target is LUB, and like this sticker has white on top, and like the target is here, sorry, the twist is here, then white is here, right? Like, I just kind of know that. But let's say you don't know that, like you don't know that those sort of schemes, like you like don't know how like the corner twists and stuff work. You're gonna need to figure out the twist direction manually, and here's how I do it. So I'll just use letter pairs to make this easier. So here, P and A, that's the normal cycle. But instead we're shooting here, so that's gonna be PB, right? PBE. That's what we're left with, PBE for the next letter pairs. PB and then E. But then you're left with a 2-twist, and this 2-twist, well, I'll notate it as BN. How is that? Okay, where did we get BN from? Basically, I shot this. Okay, let's try that again. So I shot this to here, and you'll notice that this is red, so this is like the letter N. If you solve it, this is the letter N, and this is the letter B. So I shot N to B, which means that the 2-twist is NB as a letter pair. So that's basically how we figure out what the twist direction is. You do PB, and then you know that the twist is whatever you had here, which is N, and then N is here, which means that B goes to N, so it's BN. So that's what that's how I'd recognize it. And I'll go over a different example, I guess. Guess this isn't the greatest example, because this is pretty decent. This is like pretty decent, let's do this. Right. Okay, but like I'll still use this example. So PDG. Instead of doing PDG, I do PI, right? And then LID, right? Because I put D here. This is supposed to be here, this is supposed to be D, but instead of putting D here, I put D here. So after doing this COM, the twist is left with being ID. And then, like, that's not how you do that. Is this correct? No, this is not correct. I'll just reset it up. So yeah, your twist is ID, and your last target is L, because instead of shooting it to G, you shot it to L. So yeah, this, and then yeah. Okay, now let's talk about t2c recognition. t2c is a little bit easier. So I'll do... yeah, I'll do this. This case. So this one is decent, I guess, because like 8 mover and then an okay period. But okay, let's say you still don't like that. Let's say you're very picky about what odds you get. You can instead do like this 8 mover, and then you're left with a t2c. This one is a lot easier to recognize. Not recognize. This one is easier to figure out what the t2c is. So it's very easy with letter pairs actually. So you have P-A-N. Alright, P-A-N. And then you just shoot this here. It becomes B-A-N. Now what you did here is very simple. You have P-A-N, but you switch the B and P. Well, you did a 3 cycle for P to B to the buffer. So P-A-N turned into B-A-N. You just replace the first letter with the letter you shot to. So P-A-N, you have B-A-N instead. And yeah, that one's pretty simple how that works. And I guess this depends on how you recognize t2c, or I guess how your triplets are formatted. Like, if for whatever reason, you're recognizing t2c from, wait, I did this wrong. It's like, you're recognizing this t2c from UBL, I guess that wouldn't work. Like P-A-N, and then instead of B-A-N, well, you're still left with B-A-N, but since you're recognizing from a UBL, it's harder, but who does that, right? Like, I feel like in most cases, you're gonna be shooting to your t2c first letter targets, because, like, my first one is UBR, second is UFL, and I feel like in most cases, if you're forcing a fast comm, it's going to UBR and UFL. And like in other cases, it goes to UBL, so there's not going to be any issues with that. So yeah, that's how I recognize that one. This video probably isn't very clear, so I'm gonna make sure YouTube doesn't destroy the comment section, and yeah, goodbye.